Hello, my name is Amanda, and I'm here today to tell you about a culture that I have been a part of my entire life. Religion has something that I've always had. I have been going to church every Sunday since I was born, until I was 18 years old. Now, I remember times when I would wake up on Sunday morning and be upset that I had to go to church because I could be sleeping in. This was my day off from school. Why do I have to go to church? But now I see, through everything, the years of church, what an impact that had on me and my life. Now, there's no special circumstances to be a Catholic, but of course you have to be baptized into Catholicism. You should practice your faith and of course go to church. Now, you're probably wondering what the purpose of my remarks to you is, but for me, it's hard to explain, but for me, church and faith had such an impact on me, and it helped me through the hardest times in my life. There are hundreds of religions around the world, and any possibility, that you could be a part of. But for me, I was born into a Catholic family, and I was raised that way, and I wouldn't change it for anything. Now, being Catholic is kind of like a three-step process for me. Of course, you go to church every Sunday, but the first thing was to be baptized. I was baptized when I was a month old in '87. What it is you get baptized by the priest when you're born. It's usually when you're born, but it can be throughout any age. My husband was baptized when he was 18 after we got married. What the priest does is he pours holy water over the back of the baby's head, and he recites the Holy Trinity, which is in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And as I was doing research, I also learned that about the oils they used. They used oils, and they put the oils across your mouth, in the sign of the cross on your forehead, your mouth, your eyes, and your ears. So the next step after I was baptized was to receive First Communion. And what that is that's receiving the bread and the wine at Mass, at the end of Mass, which is known as the Eucharist, which is the body and blood of Christ. Now, what I had to do for that was I had to go to what's called faith formation, which is kind of like religious education once a week, where you learn about religion, and at that age we had like workbooks and we did projects, and it was a lot of fun. Now, so after I received, finally, for the first time, I had to do confession as well, which is, as a 7-year-old, I had to go to the priest, confess my sins, and that was very nerve-wracking, because what am I going to confess? I took a toy from my sister, I was nervous. I can still remember being nervous. So after that's done, quite a few years later, I went through confirmation, which was where you receive the Holy Spirit, and for that we had to go to class once a week for 3 months to learn about, what it meant to receive the Holy Spirit, and the 7 sacraments, and just a lot of information, and I don't even remember all of it, but I know, it was really helpful, and I really enjoyed going to class. This is a picture of me. Pull it back. When I was confirmed by the Pope over here, the Bishop, excuse me, this was very, it was very sentimental to me. It was very powerful, and I just remember how I felt, standing there, and him blessing me, and it was just, I'll always remember that day. Now, throughout all of these are the 3 major things, but a lot of things that I also did that I learned a lot of, religious culture and everything, was we went through this thing called youth group. And of course, in elementary school, it's, education, so it's like 1st grade classes, 2nd grade classes, 3rd grade classes, and so on. And, like I said, you do the workbooks and the projects and all that. But when we got to middle school, which was 6th through 8th, we met with, as a huge group, and we just talked about, issues and ways that our religion will be tested, and it was really good times. And then, of course, in high school, it was grades 10 through 12th, and we did the same thing, youth group. but it was more focused on, issues that we were having, how our religion would be tested, and how, we could overcome it and use it to our advantage, of course. And we also went on these things called retreats. So one of the retreats we went on that I remember really well was, themed called Pressing On, and we went away for a weekend to a camp, and we had group discussions, and it was very emotional, and confession, and ways that we could move on from our past mistakes, and it was really amazing to be surrounded by everyone, and I had a great time. Now in 2005, I was very fortunate enough to be able to go to Germany for World Youth Day, and what that was it was a gathering of millions of Catholics who all gathered to celebrate our faith and visit. I know our group, we went to Italy and England, and when I was in Italy, I got to visit the Vatican and St. Peter's Square, and it was incredible. I had a great time, and I will never forget. I mean, I saw so many churches, you wouldn't believe it, and the history over there, it was just incredible. And in my research, when I was reading, because the Pope had a ceremony, and at this ceremony, he had Mass, and he, gave a sermon, and, which is kind of like blessings and his thoughts and everything. And I was so far back that I didn't get to hear it. So I went online and I found a site that was about World Youth Day in 2005, and I was able to read the sermon, and it was incredible. I learned so much about, it was great to see what he had to say to us and why we were there, and it was an amazing feeling. Now, there are so many different cultures around the world, and mine is, defines who I am, and my beliefs, and my, and just me. It's incredible, and it's helped me through the lowest points in my life. And I hope that you're fortunate enough to have, a belief or a faith that helps you as well. Thank you.